What does it truly mean to be filled with the Holy Spirit? Many think it's about outward signs, loud prayers, dramatic gestures, or endless religious rituals. But the truth may surprise you. The evidence of a spirit-filled life is not just in words or appearances, but in a transformation of consciousness. A person filled with the Holy Spirit moves differently. They see the world through a higher lens. They speak, think, and feel in alignment with divine power. They do not merely wish for change, they embody it. Today I will reveal 6 unmistakable habits of someone who walks in the fullness of the Spirit. These are not just religious practices, but profound principles that unlock a life of miracles, purpose, and unshakable faith. If you apply these, you will never be the same again. A person filled with the Holy Spirit understands the power of their words. They do not speak idly, for they know that every word carries creative force. When they speak, they do so with authority, not as mere wishful thinking, but as one who understands that speech is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. They do not say, "I hope to be healed." They declare, "I am whole." They do not say, "I wish things would get better." They affirm, "All things are working together for my good." To the average person, this may seem like mere positive thinking, but to the one who walks in the Spirit, this is divine law in action. Their words are not empty sounds. They are commands issued into the very fabric of reality. The world around them is not something to be passively observed, but something to be actively shaped. They refuse to affirm negativity, even in the face of difficulty. If lack appears, they do not reinforce it by speaking of poverty and struggle. Instead, they declare abundance, knowing that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. When sickness tries to take hold, they do not reinforce it with words of fear, but instead they speak life and renewal into their body. This is because they understand a great mystery. Their words do not describe reality. Their words create reality. This is why they guard their tongue, never allowing idle or destructive speech to escape their lips. They do not curse their own future by speaking of failure, fear, or despair. They know that words are seeds, and every seed will produce after its kind. If they speak words of doubt, they will reap a harvest of delay and disappointment. If they speak words of faith, they will see doors open, obstacles dissolve, and mountains move. When they pray, they do not plead with desperation as if trying to convince God to act. Instead, they declare with certainty, knowing that the answer is already present in the unseen realm. They do not say, "Lord, if it be your will," because they have already aligned their desires with divine intention. They know that the Spirit within them is not separate from the source of all creation, and so they speak from a place of oneness. Even in casual conversation, their words reflect their awareness of divine authority. Where others complain, they give thanks. Where others gossip, they speak of possibility. Where others speak of fear, they declare victory. They do not waste words on things they do not want to manifest. They understand that what they speak consistently, they will experience. It is not arrogance that fuels their confidence. It is spiritual law. They are not blind to difficulties, nor do they deny reality, but they refuse to affirm anything that contradicts what they know to be true in the Spirit. They know that by speaking life, by declaring their desires as already fulfilled, by affirming the goodness of God, even in the face of trials, they are shaping their world according to a higher order. Those who hear them may not understand at first. Some may even scoff at their boldness. But in time, people begin to notice something unusual about them. Things seem to work in their favor. Opportunities seem to find them. Solutions appear where others see no way out. They remain unshaken by storms, and their life is marked by a quiet, unexplainable authority. A person filled with the Holy Spirit does not live by what their physical eyes show them. They understand that what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. While others react to circumstances, they respond to a deeper truth. They refuse to be limited by appearances because they know that the visible world is only a reflection of a deeper, unseen reality. When others see lack, they see provision. When others see sickness, they see healing. When others see failure, they see growth and transformation. Their ability to look beyond appearances is not based on denial, but on a profound understanding of how reality is formed. They know that everything that exists first began in the unseen before it manifested in the physical. Every building was first an idea. Every breakthrough was once an invisible thought. Every transformation begins in the mind before it takes shape in the world. Because of this, they do not allow fear to take root when circumstances look unfavorable. They do not panic when things seem to be falling apart. Instead, they remain steady, knowing that what is unfolding before them is only a temporary shadow, subject to change at any moment. They have trained their inner vision to focus not on what is, but on what is becoming. While others become consumed by present difficulties, they remain anchored in the unseen promise. When a storm arises in life, most people only see the wind and waves. They become overwhelmed by the problem because they believe it to be absolute. But the person filled with the Spirit sees past the storm. They do not focus on the chaos, but on the calm beyond it. They do not look at their current limitations, but instead fix their vision on the greater reality that is taking shape. They know that their perception determines their experience. If they focus on struggle, struggle will expand. If they focus on divine provision, provision will manifest. This is why they refuse to speak in agreement with fear. They do not allow temporary circumstances to dictate their faith. They are not blind to the challenges of life, but they refuse to magnify them with their attention. Instead of dwelling on obstacles, they dwell on solutions. Instead of complaining about what they do not have, they give thanks for what is coming. They do not wait for external proof before they believe. They believe first, knowing that their belief is what will shape the future. They are not swayed by the opinions of others, nor are they discouraged when things do not immediately change. The natural world operates on time, but the person who sees beyond appearances knows that time is only a tool, not a limitation. Just as a farmer does not doubt the seed he has planted, the Spirit-filled person does not doubt the fulfillment of what they have envisioned. They hold the image of the unseen reality so firmly in their mind that they are unmoved by delays or detours. When they look at people, they do not see them merely as they are, but as they could be. They do not judge based on current behaviors or past mistakes. They see the divine potential within every person, even when it is hidden beneath layers of struggle or failure. Because they see people as they truly are in spirit, they call forth greatness in others. They do not remind people of their flaws. They remind them of their divine identity. This ability to see beyond appearances transforms their entire life. Where others see closed doors, they see pathways. Where others see rejection, they see redirection. Where others see endings, they see new beginnings. They live with an unshakable confidence, not because of what their physical eyes reveal, but because of what their spiritual vision perceives. They understand that the world outside is a reflection of the world within, and by holding firmly to the truth of the unseen, they shape reality according to divine intention. A person filled with the Holy Spirit does not waver between doubt and belief. They do not live in a state of uncertainty, wondering if their prayers will be answered or if their desires will manifest. Instead, they carry a deep, unshakable inner knowing, a certainty that what they seek is already theirs in the unseen realm. They do not merely hope, they know. This knowing is not based on external evidence. It is not dependent on whether circumstances appear favorable or whether others validate their belief. It comes from an awareness that the unseen is more real than the seen, that what they desire has already been established in spirit and is simply awaiting manifestation. Just as a seed planted in the ground is unseen yet sure to grow, they understand that what they have claimed in faith is already in motion, even if their physical senses have yet to detect it. Because of this inner knowing, they do not beg or plead. They do not pray from a place of desperation, as if trying to convince God to move on their behalf. They do not cry out, "If only I could receive this blessing," for they know that there is no if. They understand that all things are already available to them, waiting only for their alignment with divine truth. Instead of asking anxiously, they affirm boldly. Instead of hoping, they expect. Instead of seeking proof in the outer world, they hold firm to the reality they know exists within. To an outside observer, this level of confidence may seem unusual. Others may ask, "How can you be so sure? What if things don't work out?" But a person who walks in the Spirit does not entertain such doubts. They are not disturbed by the opinions of those who live by sight alone. They do not rely on logic or probability, for they know that what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Their certainty does not come from human reasoning. It comes from divine awareness. This state of inner knowing transforms how they move through life. They do not panic when obstacles arise because they already know the outcome. They do not stress over delays because they understand that time is irrelevant to the Spirit. They do not feel the need to constantly check for signs of progress because they have already received what they desire in their heart. They are like an artist who has completed a masterpiece in their mind before ever picking up a brush. The physical act of painting is merely the process of bringing forth what they already know to be finished. Their knowing is so strong that they act as if their desires are already fulfilled. They do not wait for circumstances to change before they rejoice. They do not wait for a breakthrough before they express gratitude. They give thanks now because in their reality, the promise has already been kept. The door is already opened. The healing has already occurred. Others may say, "But nothing has changed yet." But the Spirit-filled person does not operate in the realm of yet. They operate in the realm of now. This is why they are at peace even in the midst of uncertainty. They do not require visible proof to believe because their faith is the evidence. They do not need reassurance from others because their knowing comes from within. They do not anxiously chase after blessings because they understand that they already possess everything they need. They walk in the world as one who has already received, one who has already arrived, one who is already whole. Their energy is different. While others wait for confirmation before they believe, they confirm their own reality with the certainty of their faith. While others doubt and waver, they remain steadfast. While others look for signs, they become the sign. They know that what they hold in their consciousness must become their experience, for reality always bends to the one who truly knows. A person filled with the Holy Spirit does not wait for external confirmation before they allow themselves to feel the joy of answered prayers. They do not postpone their gratitude until the blessing arrives, nor do they reserve their sense of peace until circumstances align with their desires. Instead, they understand a profound truth. Emotion precedes manifestation. Before anything appears in the physical world, it must first be felt within. They do not live by the rule of seeing is believing. They live by the higher law that believing is seeing, and more importantly, feeling is receiving. They know that the moment they generate the feeling of already having what they seek, they have aligned themselves with its reality. They do not need evidence to celebrate. They do not need proof to rest in assurance. The feeling itself is the evidence. While others wait to rejoice until their circumstances change, a person filled with the Spirit rejoices now. They feel the relief of victory before the battle is won. They feel the warmth of love before the relationship arrives. They feel the abundance of wealth before a single dollar appears. They feel the healing before their body shows signs of recovery. To an outside observer, this may seem strange. How can someone feel something that has not yet happened? But the Spirit-filled person knows that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. Because of this, they do not react to the delays or apparent setbacks that make others lose hope. They do not look around and say, "I'll believe it when I see it." Instead, they say, "I will see it because I already believe it." And belief is not just a mental concept to them. It is a felt experience. It is something they carry in their heart, something that lives in them long before it manifests around them. They understand that the universe responds to the energy of certainty, not the energy of longing. Longing implies separation. Wanting implies lack. Begging implies doubt. But feeling it as already done, that is alignment. That is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Imagine a person who desires a new home. Most would wait until they step inside the house before they allow themselves to feel the comfort of belonging. But the Spirit-filled person feels at home before the house appears. They close their eyes and walk through its rooms in their imagination. They smell the fresh paint. They run their fingers over the countertops. They hear the echo of their footsteps in the hallway. They sit on the couch in their mind and feel the warmth of ownership settling into their bones. They do not wish for the home. They live in it now, within their consciousness. The same principle applies to healing. While others wait for their bodies to show signs of improvement before they allow themselves to feel healthy, the Spirit-filled person feels wholeness now. They wake up in the morning and stretch as though their body is already restored. They breathe deeply and feel the sensation of strength surging through their limbs. They walk, talk, and move as if they have already received their healing. They do not dwell on pain or symptoms because they refuse to affirm anything other than complete restoration. This is why they are so powerful. While others dwell in worry and hesitation, they exist in a state of divine expectation. They have already experienced their blessing internally, and they know that the outer world must conform. The Spirit within them is not waiting. It has already become. This is the key. They do not merely hope. They do not merely affirm. They feel it deeply, completely, and unshakably, until reality has no choice but to reflect it. They know that when they radiate the feeling of the fulfilled desire, they have already stepped into possession of it. The world will catch up in due time, but they do not need to wait for the proof. They are the proof. A person filled with the Holy Spirit does not obsess over how things will unfold. They do not waste energy trying to control the process, nor do they attempt to force circumstances to align according to their limited understanding. Instead, they surrender the how and place their full trust in the what, the vision, the desire, the inner knowing that what is meant for them will arrive in perfect timing. Most people become trapped in the details. They pray for abundance, but then worry about where it will come from. They desire healing, but then doubt whether the right treatment will appear. They seek love, but then question how they will meet the right person. They burden themselves with questions that are not theirs to answer. But a person filled with the Spirit operates differently. They understand that their role is not to dictate the path, but to trust that the path will reveal itself. They have mastered the art of surrender, not as a form of passivity, but as an active, unwavering trust in divine orchestration. They do not need to micromanage every step. They do not anxiously look for signs or demand immediate results. They do not panic when things seem to be moving in the wrong direction. Instead, they remain steady in their faith, knowing that their desire is already fulfilled in the unseen, and that the means to bring it forth will appear when the time is right. They live by a simple yet powerful principle. If the what is clear, the how is inevitable. Their only task is to hold firm to the vision, to feel its reality, to live as though it is already theirs. They do not let doubt creep in just because they cannot see the full picture. They trust that the same divine intelligence that placed the desire within them will also provide the perfect means to fulfill it. This is why they do not chase, force, or struggle. They understand that desperation pushes things away while faith draws them in. They do not need to manipulate circumstances or scheme their way into success. They do not dwell on whether things are moving fast enough or if they are on the right path. They do not question every turn of events. They simply trust. Consider the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not anxiously demand to know the exact moment it will sprout. He trusts the process. He waters it, nurtures it, and allows time to do its work. The Spirit-filled person operates in the same way. They plant the seed of intention in their heart, water it with faith, and trust that the unseen forces at work will bring the right opportunities, people, and circumstances into their life. They understand that attachment to the how only creates resistance. When a person fixates on a specific way for something to happen, they unknowingly block the infinite possibilities that could bring it to them in a better, faster, and more effortless way. The Spirit-filled individual does not limit themselves to one outcome. They do not insist that their blessing must arrive in a certain form or through a certain person. They remain open, allowing divine intelligence to arrange things in ways they could never predict. Even when things appear to be going wrong, they do not waver. They do not see obstacles as signs of failure, but as part of a greater unfolding. When one door closes, they do not despair. They understand that a better one is already being prepared. They do not resist when things take an unexpected turn, for they know that what seems like a detour may in fact be the most direct path to their desire. Because of this, they are at peace. They move through life with a quiet confidence, unbothered by delays, undisturbed by uncertainty. They are not ruled by impatience, nor are they shaken by temporary setbacks. They trust that as long as they remain faithful to their what, the how will take care of itself. And it always does. A person filled with the Holy Spirit carries a presence that cannot be ignored. When they walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because of anything they say or do, but because of what they are. They move through the world with a quiet authority, a deep serenity, an unshakable confidence that radiates outward. It is not arrogance, nor is it forcefulness. It is something far greater, a natural embodiment of divine love and power. To those who observe them, this radiance is magnetic. People feel safe in their presence, drawn to them without fully understanding why. Their energy is both calming and commanding. They are not easily rattled by chaos, nor do they shrink in the face of opposition. They do not need to prove their strength, for their strength is self-evident. They do not need to demand respect, for respect is given naturally to those who carry themselves with true power, the kind that does not need validation from others. The foundation of this power is love, a love that is not weak but transformative. It is not mere sentimentality, nor is it conditional. It is a love that sees beyond appearances, beyond flaws, beyond past mistakes. They do not judge people for who they have been. They see them for who they are becoming. Their presence alone has the power to awaken the dormant greatness in others, simply because they recognize it first. This is why they do not engage in petty conflicts. They do not waste time in gossip or resentment. They have no interest in proving themselves right, because they are too busy creating peace, creating solutions, creating a world that reflects the love they carry within. They do not lower themselves to meet negativity on its level. Instead, they lift others to higher ground, not by force, but by example. Their power does not come from dominance, manipulation, or control. It comes from alignment. They are so deeply connected to the divine source within them that they have no need to push, struggle, or strive. When they speak, their words carry weight, not because they are loud, but because they are spoken from a place of inner conviction. When they act, their actions have impact, not because they seek recognition, but because they move with purpose. They do not fear opposition because they know that light does not need to fight darkness. It simply shines, and darkness disappears. They do not fear setbacks because they understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow in power and grace. They do not fear rejection because they do not seek external validation. They love not because they are waiting for love in return, but because love is who they are, and because they are love, they cannot be defeated. Their presence alone disarms hostility. Their kindness cannot be mistaken for weakness, for it is backed by an unyielding strength. They forgive easily, not because they condone wrongdoing, but because they refuse to carry the burden of resentment. They bless even those who curse them, not because they are naive, but because they understand that nothing can take from them what is already eternally theirs. They are both gentle and fierce. They are both patient and relentless. They are both humble and unstoppable. They do not need to seek power, for they are power. They do not need to seek love, for they are love. And in this realization, they walk through life untouched by fear, unmoved by external circumstances, and unshaken by anything that does not align with the truth of who they are. A person filled with the Holy Spirit moves through life with a quiet certainty, an unshakable confidence that does not rely on external validation or proof. They understand that reality is not something to be passively observed, but something that responds to their thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. They do not react to circumstances, they shape them. They do not wait for signs, they are the sign. They speak as though their words shape reality, because they do. They see beyond appearances, refusing to be deceived by temporary illusions. They live in a state of inner knowing, undisturbed by delays or doubts. They feel the fulfillment of their desires before they receive them, understanding that feeling is the gateway to manifestation. They surrender the how and trust the what, allowing divine intelligence to arrange things far more perfectly than they ever could. And above all, they radiate love and power, transforming the world around them, not through force, but through presence. This is not a philosophy, this is a way of being. And those who embody it move through life with grace, certainty, and a divine authority that cannot be shaken. They know who they are, they know what they carry, and because of that, the world bends in response to their faith.